This is a cry for help from Taiwo Ajayi, the daughter of Dr. Ajayi, the owner of Ajayi Memorial Hospital in Lagos State. Hello everyone, you're so much welcome. Now women, we should stop doing God when or stop God winning when we see couples on social media. This is not to just spoil joy, this is just to tell you that behind the scenes a lot of things are happening that people have kept for many years, many months, many weeks, and they are just breaking into pieces. But maybe it isn't time for them to come out to speak, or when the time reaches, of course, they will come out to talk to us. In a very sorrowful manner, this beautiful woman, yes, this is a picture of when she was herself and when she became traumatized psychologically in a marriage of 12 years. Yes, you heard me right. 12 years marriage that has been full of whatever it is you want to call it. Now, everybody knows that getting married is something that everybody wishes for, we all pray for, we are happy for, and we just want to be happily married ever after. But a lot of times, Yoruba will say, "Nto wa leyin efa, o du eje lo." So many things are happening. A lot of times women keep quiet for so long. I'm not saying that men do not also go through issues in their marriages, but this particular incident has to do with a woman who decided to come out to say, "Emi bo." What actually happened? She came out with her full chest to tell her story as she made a post on her social media page. This is Taiwo's page on social media. This is especially our Instagram page. Taiwo Ajayi, personal coach, bringing love and healing to a hurting world. Relationship coach. Talk to Taiwo. She put her LinkedIn post as well. So as you can see, she's just a normal woman doing her thing and, saying that she brings succor to hurting people. Irony of life. When you see somebody's bio like that, you just think that, oh, this person has it all well together. It means that even doctors self they fall sick. I'm telling you. So for her to say she's in the world to heal people who are hurting and everything, little did we know that she also needs a healer. And may God in heaven help her. Now, the post that has been causing a lot of issues on social media is the post she put out by herself. The post is long and she put it in different part 1 and everything. So we're just going to take a few. She said, "A cry for help part 1. Fellow Nigerians, my name is Taiwo Ajayi. I have been separated from the ex-husband for the past 4 years. I was married for 12 horrible years to Joseph Okpongite. For those 12 years, I suffered greatly under his roof, subjected to domestic violence in its most horrific forms. I faced physical, emotional, psychological, and financial abuse. We are both born-again Christians and ordained ministers at the House on the Rock Church, Lagos. I appeal to the Christian body in Nigeria to please call one of their ministers to order. I don't want to become another statistics of a Christian woman who died from domestic V." This case has been reported last year to the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency, where Joseph Okpongite was invited to, and he confessed twice to having beaten me. And this was recorded. It was also reported to the Nigerian police force. I was brutally raped on our honeymoon in Cairo, Egypt as a virgin. I was beaten up when I was 5 months pregnant with our daughter. I was called fat, useless and ugly by this man I had married, even though he married me as a beautiful size 12. I was beaten up severely, beaten while holding a new baby boy, having my head bashed into the wall, which landed me in the hospital. I faced several hospital visits and admissions due to the abuse. I suffered terrible silent treatment, was humiliated severally publicly and privately, was cheated on by the husband with other women, and I would discover he was sleeping with the housemaids, who I would have to chase away from the house. Continued on the next post too. So she put it in series in her post, and she tagged a lot of people. So these are some of the people she tagged. As you can see, Timida Kolo, Instablog, Niger Daddy Freeze, Today T, Paul, Fall, Adefarasin, and a lot more. Now let's go to post 2. My successful career as an award-winning recruiter has been threatened and almost destroyed. Even when I had worked within the oil E&P industry in Nigeria and worked with multinationals within corporate Canada in the finance industry. Because of the stress it was giving me, I lost my job with a multinational last year, which was fetching me the equivalent of 55 million naira. I was being paid in Canadian dollars and it was 100% remote. Now, people, did you hear that? She was earning 55 million per annum, paid in Canadian dollars, for a remote work while she's in Nigeria. So, how much can we say, or what else do we say if this job is not a juicy one, but she lost it? Let's go on. I was being paid in Canadian dollars. Okay, my hard-earned resources and all that I have worked for the past 16 years was stripped away from me. Due to the abuse I was suffering in the hands of Joseph Okpongete, I relocated to Canada with my children in 2016 to distance myself from this man and to give my children and I peace. He would come to Canada and ask the landlord to evict us from the property that I rented with my own money, and we will be suddenly rendered homeless and have no choice than to return to his house in Nigeria. Due to the stress I was receiving on the home front, I would have burnt out on my jobs in Canada and would have to resign, leaving me with little or no income. When the abuse became too much, I had to call the Canadian police in Mississauga, I don't know how you pronounce it, who came to warn him at the house that if he continues this way, he will be arrested. This made him step back a bit. I returned to Lagos 2 months ago because I prefer being at home in Lagos. The climate works better for me. I have received threats from him about what he would do to me. He has also refused to pay child support, take care of the kids, nor pay their school fees. I have been running from this man for the past 4 years, and my country people, I am tired. Hence, when I am crying out today for someone to please help me, ask this man to leave me alone. He has insisted in a forceful manner that I return to his house. As you can see, she said, continued on post 3. So this is post 3. She said, 2 weeks ago, his auntie called me, commanding me to return to his house, to which I politely but firmly refused. She told me that if I divorce him, that I will not make heaven, that I will go to hell. Thank God the sacrifice that Jesus paid on the cross is all I need to make heaven, and not my marriage to this Shylock. He is owing me 250,000 Canadian dollars as initial relocation expenses to Canada, draining my resources. Up to his plane ticket into Canada, I had to pay for it. Eh? Who was the husband and who was the wife? Please, somebody tell me. Omo, ile igbenu ton. 2 days ago, he called to speak to the children, and I did not keep him from speaking to them, nor from contacting them. He said all manner of things and gave all manner of threats. He has also been playing delayed taxes with his divorce process in court. Knowing I'm from a comfortable background, this man manipulated his way into my life and manipulated me into marrying him because of what he will eat. So I was young and naive. Immediately I entered the marriage, I realized I had been deceived and it was very hard to come out. He called 2 days ago to tell our 14-year-old daughter that he is planning something against me, issuing threats. I do not know what he is planning. And sincerely, I'm not ready to find out. Last year, he asked the police in Lagos to arrest me and lock me up for leaving him. Only God delivered me. This thing is not a small thing, no. This is not a small thing. Okay, let's go on. I had to run for my life to Canada. Please, fellow Nigerians, help me to ask Joseph Okpongete to please leave me alone. It is not by force to be married to him. It is not by force for me to return to his house. I have moved on. Please help me beg him to move on. Continued on post 4. Reading this honestly is so heartbreaking that you cannot imagine being in this situation. People are going through a lot. So this is post 4. She said, Two, two pictures earlier attached reflect my physical state after being psychologically abused for so long, and also landing in the hospital when Joseph refused to drop his passport to the Canadian High Commission in Ghana for us to collect our Canadian permanent resident visa. I had paid 8,000 US dollars for the application process. The visas had come through, which was a thing of joy for me, but Joseph wanted us to lose the visa just hurts me. He waited till the last week before the deadline to submit his passport to the embassy. All my pleas fell on dead ears. I landed in Reddington Hospital at 1 a.m. in the middle of the night when I could not breathe. I was about to lose the opportunity of a lifetime. I have a doctor's report to substantiate this event, detailing the psychosomatic stresses he had put me through. He eventually dropped his passport 3 days before the deadline given by the Canadian Embassy after family members pleaded with him. Okay. I fainted in my son's school the following week due to the stress it was giving me. Teachers and the school principal, including my driver, poured 5 bottles of water on my head to revive me, and I was admitted for 3 days again at Reddington Hospital, Ikeja. Egbami o, mo bẹ̀yín ni o. Anyone who knows him should please ask Joseph Okpogete to leave me alone. Married to an abuser and to a narcissist is not by force. My life is being threatened. Thank you. Taiwo Ajayi, the only daughter of Dr. Richard Adejumo Ajayi, founder of the Ajayi Memorial Hospital, Lagos. Then she tagged, those popular platforms. Hey, Yomi. So it is better for us to bring it out to you, because she brought it out by herself. Like, you can see the evidence. Those are screenshots from her page on Instagram. And so it's out there in the world already. And for a woman to say this is a cry for help, it is better for us to do a cry for help than a cry for the one that is gone. We'll always remember, she said she doesn't want to be one of those Christian women in the statistics. The issue of Osinachi is still fresh in our hearts. The husband, we don't know if he's truly still behind bars or not. The children, of course, they are still going to remember everything their mother and their father went through, those. I don't even want to remember that incident. So Taiwo Ajayi to cry out. She's a relationship expert. She's an ordained minister in Pastor Paul Adefarasin's church. That is House on the Rock. So over to you, Pastor Paul Adefarasin, a charismatic, well-spoken man of God. They are ordained members and ministers of your church. They are not just churchgoers in your church, they are ordained ministers. So I want to believe that you know them very well. I want to believe that they are under your covering. I want to believe that as the father in Christian whatever for this couple, you have a role to play. Perhaps you've been playing your role. You've been telling the man to go and get his wife because, as she said, the wahala really started 4 years ago when she ran for asala for her life. But the man keeps pulling and pulling her back. Now you're not treating her well, as she alleged, and you're not letting her have peace. What exactly does Uncle Joseph Ogbokete kilefe gong? All these things that your wife Taiwo Ajayi said about you, these allegations, are they true? She said in the post I just read that you were reported to Lagos State domestic V something, and you confessed to have beaten her lẹ́ẹ̀mejì. Pastor, kí lẹ mama preach fáwọn èèyàn, because seeing this pastor now, fine guy, aging well, looking dapper, ẹni tó bá rí yín sìn á lọ́mọkùnrin ti tọ́ òun ti rọ́kọ. Àǹtí Táíwò sọ wípé gbà lénìí, gbà lọ́la, wàhálà, ìjọ̀gbọ̀n. What exactly is going on, Pastor? What do you want to portray to believers and to Christendom or to the world at large? The moment you carry the badge of Christ to say you're a pastor, you're a deacon, you're a something, you have added extra responsibilities to your shoulder than just a normal Christian without those titles. And somebody seeing that pastor, that's Pastor Joseph Ogbokete, the husband, I know the way you will be like speaking, because Omotoba package dada will a minister in church, Paul Adefarasin. It's not them say, it's what I have seen, is what I know, and I want to believe that peradventure you've allowed yourself to stray. Your wife through so many allegations at you. Pé ṣe lè ń ṣe kéré wà pẹ̀lú àwọn house girls. Excuse me? Excuse me? Who will take that? She said, ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn náwó sick. In fact, it's just so messy. To pé I really don't know. And when it comes to people who are close to God, men of God, ministers of God like this, it's always very tricky, because people will say, for example, maybe members of their church will watch this now. I want to drop a comment that is not supposed to be dropped here. Any comment that is not constructive, very nicely will be done away with. Because the fact that somebody, Ọlọ́run tó dá wa, and express ara wa sí, how much more? And will not turn any man to God. Let him come out and clear the air about all these huge allegations that his wife has said. Because we'll be the ones to come and say, kí ló dé tí ò ṣe kúrò ńbẹ̀? Osinachi will have left her husband's house. And this woman has come out to speak. Some people will not discern enough to say, for one to come out. I showed you a profile some minutes ago, helping others who are hurting to heal and everything. So we know that it takes a high level of vulnerability to come out and say, pé o marry as a virgin, ọkọ ìfẹ́ ló wọ́ọ̀dì yẹn ní ibi tẹ́ lọ fún honeymoon. You know, some people, when you hear some people's story, you might just be like, how can this be possible? Or more possible. You can only talk about what you've gone through. And some of us have gone through even worse than that, or what is not even up to that. But we know the impact and the effect it has on us, on our children or our family members. So when somebody comes out to speak, let them cry for help. Let them speak. There should be no shutting down of anyone. I think it has even changed a bit. Lẹ́yìn tó Osinachi lọ bọ́ lọ́hùn yẹn. Ó tàwọn pastors gan ti ń tone ẹ̀ down. Tẹ́lẹ̀ ọmọ ní ibẹ̀ ni kò kú sí, ibẹ̀ ni kò dúró sí, ibẹ̀ ni ọ̀run ti máa bá ẹ, ibẹ̀ ni rapture ti gbọ́dọ̀ dé bá ẹ. Come on, we should stop all that. Bad behavior is bad behavior, whether you're a minister of God or you're not a minister of God. So, Pastor Minister Joseph Okogete, a pastor, come and clear yourself. This is obviously not working. The woman is traumatized. She's not herself anymore. Let her breathe. Like President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said, let the woman breathe. It is not by force. Marriage is not a ticket to heaven. Tó bá ti wà married or stay married, ní wọ ìjọba ọ̀run. A dúpẹ́ p'Ọlọ́run sọ bẹ́ẹ̀, because ẹ̀mí ọ̀tá ẹlòmíì á bọ́ sínú ibi tó wà. So please, I hope she finds the help. Nigerian women, she's crying out for help now. We don't want to come and blog something that is not bloggable. Osinachi has paid the price. May her beautiful soul rest in peace. May our children, get over whatever hurts they've been through. But we don't want any more stories that touch. Prevention, they say, is better than cure. What's your opinion on this? Please say a word of prayer for her. You can go to her page to read more about it and read the comments. Reading the comments, but I think it's worth it to lend the voice to a woman who is crying out for help. Thank you very much for watching. Do remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you in the next video. May God bless everyone. Bye for now.